Welcome to HornbillTV. This is your anchor Krizan Yosolo. First, the headlines. Election Commission of India has informed that 68% voters turned out were recorded till 5 p.m. The first phase of voting began in 199 out of 200 constituencies in Rajasthan on Friday. The first groups of Israelis and Palestinians have been released under a truce brokered between Israel and Hamas that brought a temporary halt to fighting in Gaza after weeks of conflict, officials said. International tunneling expert Arnold Dix said on Saturday, sometime from now until 1 month and 41 men will be home safe. I'm confident that they'll be home in time for Christmas, he added. Women folk protested in front of the Manipur Legislative Assembly at Chingmairong on Saturday, demanding action against 10 Kuki MLAs. A skirmish between two groups in Fatehpur, Shekhawati under the Sikar district was reported on Saturday amid the voting of 199 assembly seats in Rajasthan. Two rival groups reportedly got involved in a heated argument, ultimately pelting stones at each other. Police teams arrived at the spot, halting the chaos. Later, heavy paramilitary and police personnel were deployed in the area. The first phase of voting began in 199 out of 200 constituencies in Rajasthan on Friday. ECI informed 68% voter turnout recorded till 5 p.m.
कुछ लोगों में आपस में बोलचाल के बाद में पथराव हुआ है, जैसे सबको खदेड़ दिया गया है, कुछ लोगों को डिटेन भी किया गया है और सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी। पोलिंग चालू है, पोलिंग बूथ यहाँ से दूर है, मतदान में कोई व्यवधान नहीं है और मैं सबसे अपील करता हूँ कि शांति बनाए रखने और जिन लोगों ने अपना वोट कास्ट नहीं किया है वो अभी भी बूथ पे जाके अपना वोट कास्ट करें, सबकी सुरक्षा की जाएगी।
Women folk protested in front of the Manipur Legislative Assembly at Chingmairong on Saturday, demanding action against 10 Kuki MLAs. The women protesters are all the MLAs swore allegiance to protect the unity and integrity of the state. However, the 10 Kuki MLAs signed the demand for a separate administration for Kuki-Zo community, which is why appropriate actions should be taken against them by the Assembly. Speaker women protesters say they have been demanding action against 10 Kuki MLAs for a long time. However, as there was no response from the Assembly's Speaker and the state government, they are forced to protest in front of the Legislative Assembly House. It may be mentioned that the 10 Kuki MLAs failed to attend the Assembly session, which was held for a day, citing security reasons.
क्यों सिटिंग प्रोटेस्ट कर रहा है वही का रिप्लाई मीडिया के थ्रू से देना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि हम लोग ने यही 10 कुकी एमएलए के ऊपर कुछ पनिशमेंट दे दीजिए करके हम लोग ने वो लोग का ऑफिस बियर की तरफ से हम लोग एक मेमोरेंडम दे दिया था। तो उसके बाद हम लोग ने एक प्रेस मीट रखकर बोल दिया था 3 दिन के अंदर हम लोग को जवाब चाहिए, क्योंकि हर जगह में इस तरह का जो भी एमएलए करता है, जो भी मिनिस्टर करता है, उसके ऊपर पनिशमेंट देता है, पर हमारा स्टेट में क्यों नहीं? क्योंकि सबको पता हो गया है हमारा जो भी कुकी लोग का एमएलए मिनिस्टर गलत कर रहा है। उस लोग ने मांग किया था मई 12 को और उसके बाद मई 15 को भी अमित शाह में एक मेमोरेंडम भी दिया था वो लोग का अपना साइन करके। तो ये गलत नहीं है क्या? क्योंकि हमारा वो लोग का असेंबली के हाउस में लिखा था वो लोग का एमएलए लोग मंत्री लोग गलत करेगा तो उसके ऊपर में एक्शन ले सकता है। ये उसका बुक में भी लिखा था, रूल बुक में भी लिखा था, पेज नंबर 42 रूम नंबर 91 उसी में लिखा था। तो अभी तक वो लोग किया नहीं है, क्यों नहीं किया? वही के लिए हम लोग को जवाब चाहिए। अभी तक जवाब नहीं दे रहा है। ये हर स्टेट में हर जगह में होता है तो जल्दी पनिशमेंट दे सकता था, पर हमारे स्टेट में क्यों नहीं? हमारा स्टेट इंडिया का एक पार्ट नहीं है क्या? ये इंडिया का एक पार्ट है। ऑनरेबल सीएम क्या कर रहा है? ऑनरेबल सीएम भी कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा है, स्पीकर कुछ नहीं पढ़ पा रहा है, तो ये रखने का क्या जरूरत है? असेंबली हमारे स्टेट में रखने का क्या जरूरत है? जो सोल्यूशन नहीं दे पा रहे हैं तो असेंबली रहने का क्या मतलब है? इसीलिए हम लोग का मांग है ये जल्दी हम लोग को रिप्लाई चाहिए, क्योंकि एमएलए का और मिनिस्टर का ऊपर में एक्शन लेने का, पनिशमेंट देने का जल्दी दे दीजिए। हम लोग भी, हमारे पास प्रूफ है, एविडेंस है, तो हम हर तरफ का स्टेप जरूर आप लोग के ऊपर में प्रेशर करेगा। ये निशिकांत भी एक चेयरमैन है, वो भी अभी तक मिला नहीं है, भाग गया है। कहाँ भाग गया है? वो खुद भाग गया है। जल्दी वापस आ जाइए, सोल्यूशन निकाल दीजिए। प्रजा बहुत तकलीफ में है। ये सेंट्रल पार्लियामेंट में करेगा तो क्यों ऐसा नहीं करेगा? इसीलिए हमारा रिक्वेस्ट है जल्दी कीजिए, तुरंत कीजिए, अब इमीडिएटली कीजिए। प्रजा तकलीफ में है। सेंटर और स्टेट प्रजा की रक्षा के लिए तो वो 60 एमएलए रखा है ना, मंत्री रखा है ना, तो मंत्री काम क्यों नहीं कर रहा है? प्रजा को संभालिए, प्रजा को शांति दे दीजिए, यही।
That was on the Manipur protest. Now we'll take a short break. We'll be back with more news.
डर मत, टाइगर है ना, ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट।
Sexually transmitted infections like syphilis and HIV can be transmitted from mother to child. Get tested within the first 3 months of pregnancy.
घर जल प्रतिरोधक सीमेंट से नहीं बना तो पड़ेगा रोना। पानी घुसने से कंक्रीट कमजोर हो जाए। स्टार वेदर शीट सीमेंट खराब मौसम में घर वेदर प्रूफ बनाए। स्टार वेदर शीट जल प्रतिरोधक सीमेंट, वेदर प्रूफ घर।
Welcome back. Efforts to reach the 41 construction workers trapped in a collapsed tunnel for weeks faced another setback. On Saturday, rescuers who were manually removing debris were forced to halt the operation after a drilling machine broke down while navigating through the debris of rock, stones and metal. International tunneling expert Arnold Dix said on Saturday, sometime from now until 1 month and 41 men will be safe home. I just don't know exactly when, he said. He further said that one should just consider the most important thing, and that is that the man came home safe. I'm confident that they'll be home in time for Christmas, he added.
Today is 25 November and it is about 1 month.
That's
so
correct.
It will take about 1 month to rescue them.
It means sometime from now until 1 month, and 41 men will be home safe. I just don't know exactly when.
So, but you are saying before Christmas, it means you are thinking that it could be 1 month to rescue them?
No, I'm meaning that we should not rush. I'm meaning that you should just consider the most important thing, and that is that the men come home safe. That's all I'm meaning. And that I know, I'm confident that they'll be home in time for Christmas. And as you know, I'm the only one who's talked like this. In the beginning, I never promised it would be quick. I never promised it would be easy. I never said it would be tomorrow. I never said it would be tonight. Always I said, we will see, but they'll be home for Christmas and they'll be safe.
The workers have been trapped since November 12 when a landslide caused a portion of the 4.5-kilometer tunnel they were building to collapse about 200 meters from the entrance. The mountainous terrain in the area has proven to be a challenge for the drilling machine, which had earlier broken twice as rescue teams attempted to dig horizontally towards the trapped workers. The first group of Israelis and Palestinians have been released under a truce brokered between Israel and Hamas that brought a temporary halt to fighting in Gaza after weeks of conflicts, officials said. The Israeli Defense Forces confirmed 13 Israeli hostages and had returned to Israel on Friday, where they have undergone initial medical assessments. And Qatar's foreign ministry, which helped broker the agreement, confirmed that the Palestinian prisoners released a part of the deal were on the way to the West Bank. The Red Cross, which transported the detainees on Friday from Gaza to Rafah bordering with Egypt, said 24 hostages have been freed. 10 Thai citizens and 1 Filipino citizen have also been freed under a separate agreement. Among the Israelis freed are 5-year-old Emilia Eloni and Adina Moshe, which has been seen driven away on a motorbike after being abducted from her kibbutz during the October 7 Hamas attacks. Israel also released 39 Palestinian prisoners in return on Friday. Buses reported to be carrying some of the released Palestinian women and teenagers were seen living off prison in the occupied West Banks. Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal on Friday chaired a review meeting of the City Local Bodies Department and Haryana Niwas. Local Bodies Minister Dr. Kamal Gupta, Chief Executive Officers of Municipal Corporations, Municipal Councils and Municipalities were present. In the meeting, Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar during the meeting has directed officials to ensure that urban local bodies register shops immediately after sale. Apart from this, the property ID objections should be settled quickly. This is a big task. Whose objection is there, get it resolved properly. Special camps should be organized for this. The Chief Minister said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Vikas Bharat Sankalp Yatra has started. For 50 days, it will run in Haryana under the name of Develop Bharat Yatra Jan Samvad. Deputy Commissioner and Additional Deputy Commissioner will be the nodal officers of this yatra. The purpose of the yatra is to convey the policies of the government to the common man. The Chief Minister said that more than 100 programs have been organized in rural areas and urged the people who have been benefited from government facilities to share their experiences with the general public. Apart from this, a special cell has also been created which takes satisfaction from the complainant on the action taken on his application. The Chief Minister said that urban local bodies will have to increase their income resources. It was informed in the meeting that 457 colonies under the bodies and about 150 colonies under the Town and Village Planning Department are to be regularized. Following SC's direction to Punjab Governor Banwari Lal Purohit to decide on the bills passed by the Legislative Assembly during its constitutionally valid session held on June 19 and 20, Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann wrote to the Governor to promptly approve 5 crucial bills that were duly passed by the State Legislative Assembly earlier this year. 4 of these bills were approved during the budget session. The Governor had previously expressed reservations about the validity of the special sittings convened by the Speaker in June, hindering the approval process. The Governor, however, later said that an appropriate decision on them will be taken as per the law and in accordance with a recent Supreme Court judgment. The 5 bills that have been pending with the Governor are the Sikh Gurudwara Amendment Bill 2023, the Punjab Police Amendment Bill 2023, the Punjab Affiliated Colleges Security of Service Amendment Bill 2023, the Punjab Universities Laws Amendment Bill 2023 and the Punjab State Vigilance Commission Repeal Bill 2022. Notably, the Governor of Punjab and the ruling Aam Aadmi Party have been loggerheads over the extended budget session at the State Assembly between March 3 and March 22, 2023. We'll take another short break. We'll be back with more news.
What you see, what you hear makes a difference. Correct information about HIV helps you make better decisions.
डर मत, टाइगर है ना, ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट।
Welcome back. Winter is here, Christmas is just around the corner, and so is China's new outbreak. Yes, there is another major outbreak in China's Beijing, neighboring Tianjin and the northeast province of Liaoning. Currently the hardest hit areas of the wave reported cases are undiagnosed pneumonia. Liaoning province, which is located about 400 miles northeast of Beijing, the capital of China, is battling high case numbers. Taiwan's FTV News quoted an employee at Dalian's Children's Hospital stating that the only emergency department was operational, with outpatient clinics no longer available. Schools in Beijing are reportedly reporting high levels of absenteeism and even dismissing entire classes for at least a week if some students are ill, and warning parents to be extra cautious. With major hospitals in the city has reported that on average day, they are seeing about 1,200 patients enter their emergency room. Now, what is this new pneumonia outbreak in China? Could this be the start of another lockdown and pandemic again? So there has been a recent rise in respiratory illness in China. According to latest reports, it has been termed as the H9N2. At a press conference on November 13th, China's National Health Commission reported an increase in respiratory diseases. Several common respiratory viruses are circulating right now, including influenza, Mycoplasma pneumoniae, RSV, and SARS-CoV-2. The SARS-CoV-2, the virus that caused COVID-19. These viruses can cause respiratory illness like colds, flu, and pneumonia. On November 21, media and ProMed reported clusters of undiagnosed pneumonia in children in northern China. ProMed is the same disease surveillance system that initially reported an unknown infection in Wuhan at the end of 2019, an illness that all of us will remember for the rest of our lives as COVID-19. What is ProMed? ProMed is like a global news service for infectious diseases. It keeps track of outbreaks of new or unusual diseases all over the world. On Wednesday, the World Health Organization requested that China provide more information about a recent outbreak of respiratory illness among children. The WHO specifically requested additional epidemiologic and clinical information, as well as laboratory results from this reported huge number of children falling ill. Now, although official figures on the numbers of cases are not available yet, hospitals in Beijing have witnessed cases daily. Beijing Jingdu Children's Hospital highlighted a significant rise in Mycoplasma pneumonia infections, placing immense pressure on the medical resources. With 90% of the hospital's 300 beds occupied and long queues forming outside. Now, these are huge numbers, and can you imagine 7,000 cases? The situation is similarly dire in Tianjin, a coastal city just east of Beijing. Tianjin Children's Hospital set a record on November 18th with 13,171 young patients visiting its outpatient and emergency departments in a single day, as reported by a local newspaper. With this outbreak in China is not very recent, although the updates about this outbreak is reaching the surface now. Best example is COVID-19 pandemic, which wouldn't have turned into a pandemic at all if only China was more transparent. Having said that, we don't even know for sure that these numbers I've mentioned above are even near the original statistics. High chances that it might be much more. This H9N2 outbreak in China is not very recent, although the updates outbreak is reaching the surface now. Compared to the same period in the previous 3 years when Wuhan reported the epidemic, which later turned into COVID-19. Now, the question is, how did this start? According to Francois Belux, director of University College London Genetic Institute, China may be repaying an immunity debt after the lengthy lockdown, which must have drastically reduced the circulation of respiratory bugs and hence decreased immunity to endemic bugs. Health officials are also worried that winter will exacerbate the spread of infections after a warning from China's National Weather Authority that starting on Thursday, the country's cold temperatures will plunge even further. According to the Chinese government, the reason might be because people are interacting more now that COVID-19 restrictions have been lifted. This means that germs are spreading more easily. As of November 1, 2023, China has lifted all COVID-19 related travel restrictions, including pre-departure testings, quarantine requirements, and health declaration forms. Lifting of COVID-19 restrictions increased travel and gatherings and the circulation of non-pathogens. The Chinese government is taking steps to address the wave of H9N2, including issuing public health advisories, urging people to get vaccinated against influenza and COVID-19, and increasing the availability of medical resources. However, it is important to note that the situation is still fluid and could change rapidly. But the one question remains: would this impact India? According to the World Health Organization, it is too early to say whether the H9N2 outbreak in China will have an impact on India. The WHO is closely monitoring the situation and will provide updates as they become available. The Health Ministry of India maintained that India is prepared for any kind of public health exigency. There is low risk to India from both the avian influenza case reported from China as well as the clusters of respiratory illness, said the Health Ministry on November 24th. The Union Health Ministry is closely monitoring the recent outbreak, H9N2 cases and cluster of respiratory illness among the children in northern China. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare issued a press release addressing concerns raised by some media reports about the clustering of respiratory illness cases in the region. Speaking to ANI, Dr. Ajay Shukla from RML Hospital said, the World Health Organization is concerned about the surge respiratory illness among the children in China and is trying to seek details from Chinese government. He added, specifics about the disease cannot be discussed till details are received, and the surge could be due to decreased immunity among children due to the prolonged COVID-19 lockdowns. He also added that India is on a wait and watch as there has been no impact yet. The Indian government is taking these steps to ensure that India is prepared for potential outbreak of respiratory illnesses. The government is also urging people to take precautions to protect themselves from this illness. That is all we have for the Prime Time Bulletin. Thank you for watching Hornbill TV.
Because sometimes news is more than mere information.
And we all need a little more clarity under the details
about live people and events that really matter.
For individuals that demand reliable news.
From reliable news organizations and credible and award-winning journalists.
And how we look at the world. This is exactly the reason why we strive to serve you and the society.
Because proper news can not only inform our lives but also change the way we look at it. We pursue events that are not only important to you but also useful for a life's perspective.
And that's the primary reason Hornbill TV is here to fill that space.
We are Hornbill TV.
Protection Society Mission Vatsiala scheme is a plan to help achieve goals related to development and protection of children that are in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. It focuses on child rights, raising awareness and strengthening the juvenile justice care and protection system. It is funded by the central and state governments in a 60-40 ratio with 90-10 ratio for northeastern states and 2 Himalayan states. It also encourages individuals or organizations to sponsor a child